A very good morning and welcome back to KSI Morning Brief. This is Mashood and joining with me today is Anjana to take you through the latest on world news and markets. To begin with, global markets. Stocks posted small gains as investors embraced signs that global factory activity was on a path towards recovery and largely shrugged off the violent clashes in US cities. Factories in the US and abroad continued to reduce output and shed jobs last month as governments moved to ease coronavirus-related restrictions on their economies. On Wall Street, the Dow Jones Industrial Average rose 0.36%, the S&P 500 gained 0.38%, and the Nasdaq Composite added 0.66%. Looking at Europe, the FTSE 100 index of leading shares rose by 1.48% to 6,162.42 points, led by retailers and travel companies. The DAX index is trading 1.65% lower as a downbeat German manufacturing PMI weighed on the sentiment of investors on the German stock exchange. All around Europe, manufacturing PMI data have been lower this month. France stocks were higher after the close on Monday as gains in the foods and drugs, gas and water, and general finance sectors led shares higher. Investors took it as a positive sign that Trump speaking on Friday did not extend his threat of intending actions beyond the city to mainland China. The Hang Seng Index rose 3.47% for its biggest jump since March 25th, while in mainland China, the Shanghai Composite Index rose by 2.2% and the Nikkei was up by 0.98%. Meanwhile, online gaming company NetEase and JD.com, China's second largest e-commerce retailer, are said to have already won approval from the Hong Kong Exchange for secondary listings, and their stocks will start trading in the city this month. Looking at the US, warnings have been flowing in from experts on what the real effect of the pandemic might look like. Citigroup's co-head of investment banking, Manolo Falco, explains to the Financial Times that he believes the firm's corporate clients should raise as much as cash possible before the reality of the pandemic sinks in for investors. As the second quarter comes along, we will start seeing the pain of the pandemic and the collateral effects of that, which will look much tougher than it looks. Looking at China, queues of tankers have formed off China's busiest oil ports as the vessels wait to offload coal for refineries that are quickly ramping up production amid a rapid rebound in fuel demand. Next in world news, we have Anjana to bring you some latest updates.
Thank you, Mashood. Looking at global news, under a compensation plan approved by Tesla shareholders 2 years ago, Musk receives options to buy 1.7 million shares of Tesla stock at 350.02 a share, well less than half of the current share price. The grant was issued because Tesla has achieved some operational goals set out in the plan and has had a market value of more than $100 billion. It hit that market target early in May. Looking at Europe, Northern Ireland hotels to reopen on 20th July. Hotels and tourist accommodations in Northern Ireland will be allowed to reopen according to their latest plans. Looking at Asia, China plans to launch its first Mars exploration mission, Tianwen-1, between July and August. According to the plan, the Mars probe will release a rover after a soft landing on the planet, and the rover will stay on Mars for 90 Mars sols or days on a variety of missions, including exploration of the Martian landscape. Looking at COVID-19 updates, total cases of 6.2 million have been reported around the world, while 374,157 deaths have been reported. Meanwhile, in Sri Lanka, 1,643 total cases have been reported with 11 deaths. 811 recoveries have been reported. Looking at the latest development on vaccine, China steps up inactivated COVID-19 vaccine development. China's inactivated COVID-19 vaccine is expected to finish clinical trials and get ready for the market as early as possible. The company said that more than 2,000 people have received the vaccine, and clinical data has verified that their safety and efficacy, showing that adverse reactions are far lower than other similar products. Modern RNA vaccine latest developments. A promising coronavirus vaccine candidate cleared a key hurdle this week when Moderna Therapeutics entered phase 2 of clinical trials. The move signals that the company's mRNA vaccine has passed its initial safety checks and has met an important milestone in bringing this drug closer to the public and commercial market. Looking at other updates on COVID-19, coronavirus cases in Iran have jumped by nearly 3,000, its highest daily count in 2 months, while China also saw its biggest daily rise in infections in 3 weeks. Meanwhile, Armenian Prime Minister and his family have been tested positive for the coronavirus as the rate of new infections soared in the South Caucasus nation. And that's it from KSI Morning Brief for today. We'll be joining you again tomorrow morning at 8:30 a.m. Till then, goodbye.